check. Mic check. It's working.
Mike, check.
Mike chickity check. Chickity chick check. Checkaroon. Checkaroony. Checkaroony. Play it back. I don't have headphones on. Alright. So today we are finishing up the Eventide calendar. We have our very last album cover. It's the One Direction album cover. And this is the photo we took. We have a fucking ton of work ahead of us here. Holy shit. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is in Lightroom, which is try to get the colors as close as I can to the colors in the photo before we move on to heavy layering and editing in Photoshop. So that's what I'm going to start with. So here we go. They have a lot of skin color. Oof. God. Their hair. They all just have beautiful hair. I'll never be able to mimic that. That's pretty good. If you look down at his thigh right there, you're in the same cut. His arm gets cut at a pretty good location. We have a lot less work to do. We cut off all those pictures, so that's kind of nice. This is pretty good. And their heads are pretty close. But rotating it really put them. The only thing that's off is the corners in the background, but I think that's so unnoticeable, and if we really cared, we could Photoshop it. But it's so bright back there that I think if we just get this to be an actual white and we get rid of that window and we make it all really bright, we're golden. So let's just get the color right and move on. Yeah, Harry Styles looks far more charming in his photo than I do. He looks so comfy and like he just looks like he's peering into my soul like he usually does. But then you look at my face. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna export it and we'll move into Photoshop. Alright, so the first thing that I want to do is actually make our border here, because I think it's gonna change things for us. Actually, no, I take it.
I wish Matt was just like lean forward.
Yeah, he just needs to be tilted that way.
Oh my gosh,
And Nick,
would make it just like a slight...
he has it in an older photo, but yeah,
I know he
I
does.
know.
It was so hard to...
It's not
No, I
easy.
know.
This was the most challenging photo we
Yeah,
took by
I
far.
know.
Yeah.
I'm so focused. I've never looked at that album and seen an angle before. I just see One Direction.
Yeah, you've analyzed it in a whole new way. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is cut them out onto their own layer. And then I'm actually going to cut this part of the ceiling out, because this part's actually fine. I'm going to take off the saturation though, so we don't get any of that yellow that's bouncing up onto the ceiling. And then I'm just going to completely replace these bottom walls. So, first things first is to cut these guys out. Looks good to me. New layer. That's what we're dealing with there. So now we need to do what we said we were going to do and replace the wall below and turn this part to desaturated. So let's start with the ceiling. That part's just going to be a little faster. I'm going to lock this layer. Alright, new plan. Since we did such a good job cutting them out, I'm just going to replicate this background and put them on that. So we're going to go to Google. So now we gotta get our colors right. Alright, so we're gonna go up here. We've essentially reconstructed. You can kind of see that corner in there. We have a separate back here. So we gotta do, I'm gonna start with the ceiling. It starts slightly darker up here and it fades. And what I'm gonna do to get this perfect is I'm going to do a gradient map on top of it, and I'm gonna steal these colors here. So I'm gonna come up here, I'm gonna say what the frick is that, I'm gonna copy that color, I'm gonna go into my gradient map, and I'm gonna say make our darkest colors that. Actually, you know what, I think I might end up making that the lightest colors, but we'll see in a second when we play with it. Then we'll come up to here and we'll go into this crevice here where it gets really bright. And we'll
say crevice again.
Crevice, crevice, crevice. There we go. How was that? Right in there. I think that's our brightest point. I'll take that color and make that our darkest, probably. And you'll see why here. But I'm going to replace this. Right, okay. Okay, so now let's look at this. We have mostly dark, and then we have white highlights in the crevices, or the crevasses, if you will. And if we look here, we have a big beige mess. But if we go like this, yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, and that matches our ceiling decently well, I'd say. So we're gonna select both the ceiling panel and that gradient map, and we're gonna merge them so it applies to only that, and that's what our ceiling looks like now. That's pretty good if you ask me. And you did ask me, I heard you. Alright, now we're gonna do the same process over and over for each panel until we get the colors Perfektenschlag. And then we can turn them all on. Let's see what we have there. That's kind of cool. It's kind of weird to see it like that. Wow. I like that. That's trippy as fuck. The walls just being so like perfectly straight behind them is weird. Okay, and then I'm gonna do this weird thing that's going on here. It looks like almost a wood grain, a really soft wood grain. Let me see if I can pull that real quick. And it just needs to be the size of that space there, so I don't really care that much. We're gonna want to steal colors again, so we've got like this color, whatever it is. We'll copy it. And we'll add our gradient map. And in our gradient map, we will put that color down. Oh, it already has it. Wonderful. And then we'll look for a different one in here somewhere. There's like a dark spot or two. Something just variant. That looks good. Copy that. Go into our gradient. Replace this. And then I'm not even going to cut this one. I'm just going to send it to the back of my wall so that it just fills in the empty space like that. So we have that and that. That looks pretty damn good to me. So I feel like we need a border and we need text and we're done. So let's do our border first. We can just straight up steal this, and then it looks like, it almost looks like a popcorn ceiling to me. So I'm gonna look for a popcorn ceiling texture on Google. All right, so let's get this right. Gradient map. We're gonna look at this real quick. I feel like at our brightest, we're pretty much white here. Now we need to do that logo up there. So I'm gonna get that font, those fonts. They have a cool little arrow and everything designed in it. I don't know that I have an Eventide that's that cool. So I'm gonna just leave it like this. I'm gonna close the gap on the letters just a little bit so that they actually touch. And it looks like the E and the T are connected there at the top. That looks pretty cool. And then I'll just match the size. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, now let's get the One Direction font real quick. Alright, so we've got all the fonts correct. We've got everything in place. Now I gotta remember what month it's supposed to be assigned to real quick. Let's see. And then, oh, if we put it in the exact spot, Nick's head's in the way. Damn it. Damn it. We need to move his stupid fat head. That looks very nice. I'm calling that a finished job. That is the last of the Eventide calendar. You can expect to see the full thing. I'm going to put links in the description so you guys can look at the full album and see all of the projects we did. If you, for some reason, decide that you want to buy one, there will also be a link down there. But otherwise, follow us on Instagram for more weird creative content that we're going to make like this. And follow us on Twitch for live streams when I do this in front of everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good rest of your day.